Well, though the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure you sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGreer716. Back in uniform, letting y'all know. Down in Florida, actually, the Florida has actually declared a state of emergency, which basically for all 67 counties of the state. In regards to Hurricane Dorian, what is now Hurricane Dorian, started off as a tropical storm. It's even suspected to, in certain places, get to a Category 4 hurricane by Monday, with winds as high as 130 miles an hour. So it's so real, that shit. Even Donald Trump grew a heart and was supposed to take a trip to Poland, but instead he decided to stay for the hurricane, whatever. Mike Pence is taking that trip instead. Mike Pence representing America, though. That's always some funny shit, though. But that's what's happening. Green the Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady in uniform, letting y'all know what the fuck going on around here. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You can find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGreer716. And not exactly why that should happen. Now check this out. In America, you know what I mean? Like the Justice Department has actually found that former FBI Director James Comey, pardon me, actually did not follow code and violated FBI policy when he actually leaked a memo that he had where he wrote that Donald Trump had asked him to end the investigation on Michael Flynn, who was then the National Security Advisor. So for him to actually have leaked that photo was apparently a violation, but the Justice Department is not going to charge him, and for good reason too, because motherfuckers needed to see that. Like, that's why to even shun him for doing that look like more collusion, you dig? Green Wall and Graduation. We'll do the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. You see me in my uniform, I'm gonna let y'all know what's happening everywhere. But make sure y'all sign my petition too. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You can find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGreer716, or in the video description under the video if you're watching on YouTube. Now check this out. Over in Colombia, actually, back in 2016, they actually had a peace deal that was signed between the Colombian government and leaders of the guerrilla warfare organization known as FARC, Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias de Colombia, or the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. They have been fighting for 50 years, so the peace deal was a big deal, but FARC members are now saying they're going to start taking up arms because they haven't been holding the other end of the bargain. Now, keep in mind that I told y'all yesterday that the Institute for Development and Peace Studies actually found that at least 702 social leaders and human rights defenders have actually been murdered since 2016. Now it's including 135 FARC members, former FARC guerrilla members. So it's getting crazy, especially when the government president actually said, Ivan Duque actually says that they're going to start looking for people that's taking up arms. So it sounds like it's going to get worse before it gets better, though. Stay woke. Green Wall Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. In full uniform. I'm gonna let y'all know what's happening everywhere. And make sure y'all sign my petition, yo. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGreer716, or in the video description under the video if you're watching this on YouTube, man. Over in Kashmir, so this is a majority Muslim region, but India, majority Hindu people, actually run a part of that. And 4 weeks ago, President Modi Prime Minister of Modi of India actually revoked the special status of Kashmir, and it led to the Indian forces actually having a crackdown on the area. I mean, put them on curfew. You're talking about no phone lines are open, no internet. And the crackdowns apparently been getting worse. People were already in fears of genocide, but it turns out that there's 4,000 people in there that's detained, being tortured, actually. I mean, BBC actually reported one Kashmir resident saying that he was beaten unconscious, then electrically shocked to come back to conscious or whatever. Like, all sorts of torture methods. So it's getting crazy over there. Pakistani already called for United Nations intervention. We'll see how this turns out, man. There's a lot of drama. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady in uniform, letting y'all know what the fuck going on with this BFN report around here. Now, over in the United Arab Emirates, and so not specifically there, actually in Yemen, there's been a battle over the interim capital known as Aden. So this is the temporary capital for those who don't know what interim is. So in this battle, though, this has been taking place between Saudi-backed forces, which happen to be like, you know, pro-government forces or whatever, and then you have the United Arab Emirates. They've been were on the same side as the Saudis in trying to go against the Houthi rebels, but now they're on opposing sides over this interim capital, Aden. Now this is very ironic since there was an attack made by the Saudi-backed group that actually left 40 killed. But the most craziest part about this shit is that didn't Donald Trump just sign or get approved like almost a $9 billion weapons fund for United Arab Emirates and the Saudi Arabians? So that means they're funding the motherfuckers fighting. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady in full uniform, letting y'all know what the fuck going on around here for this BFN report. So over in Hong Kong, I told y'all shit been heating up in that regards, but turns out that before a scheduled pro-democracy protest this Saturday, Agnes Chong, Joshua Wong, and Andy Chan, three prominent Hong Kong activists, were actually arrested today. Agnes and Joshua, they were actually arrested for basically generating an assembly, unlawful assembly or whatnot, and they were released on bond. But Joshua Wong just said to the press, like, all we're looking for is the removal of the extradition bill, stop police brutality, and for government to answer our demands to actually have a free election. Now, meanwhile, the Andy Chan, he was actually arrested for, like, assaulting an officer essentially. So, but news comes out by Reuters actually that chief executive of Hong Kong, Carrie Lam, actually sent a proposal to China about how to quell these protests, and in it had that to withdraw the extradition bill, but Chinese people told her don't give in to the protesters. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady in uniform, letting y'all know what the fuck going on all around, you know what I'm saying, for this BFN report. Check this shit out though, over in the Democratic Republic of Congo, that's in Africa for you stupid motherfuckers, but in the DRC, there's actually been, according to the World Health Organization, otherwise known as WHO, over 2,000 deaths linked to Ebola. Now this is the second largest kill spree for the outbreak essentially, and WHO also revealed that 48,000 people in the DRC have actually fell from malaria. You have 3,100 people who fell from measles, and like 300 people from cholera. So shit is real. And if you plan on traveling over there, yo, keep this video in mind. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. You see me in my uniform, man. I'm gonna tell y'all what's happening, but it's domestic though. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. I'm gonna change our old link in the Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, or in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube. Now, speaking of this shithead, he basically has rescinded the rules that actually put clamps on the emissions of methane gas for oil and gas companies in the United States of America. Him and his administration and the Environmental Protection Agency more specifically announced plans of doing this. So now environmentalists are actually planning on suing them. The energy companies stand to make $123 million up to 2005 if they actually go through with these plans. But we'll see what happens. I mean, the devastating effects definitely aren't worth the cost, or at least it seems like it. That thing has 80 times more heat trapping power than carbon dioxide, and that could make the climate crisis worse. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You'll find the same.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, or you can see the video description in you can see the link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube. You see me in uniform, man. I'm gonna let y'all know what's happening everywhere, but we gotta focus on domestically first. You see the dollar. This is an American dollar on this show. So the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, what's that? The NAACP of Alabama, they're actually urging for the Republican governor, Kay Ivey, to actually resign due to audio that actually surfaced showing her and her then fiance talking about how she had wore blackface in order for this skit that she was a part of. It was called Cigar Butts, where she was dressed in blackface and screaming on the floor looking for cigars type shit. You know what I mean? Some monkey ass shit. Now, she apologized for this or whatever, and that's why the NAACP, that's how everybody know about, they're calling for her resignation. It also turns out that there was an old sorority picture of hers from the girls in Auburn that actually had where they were all wearing blackface, but she wasn't found in the pic. There's some instances where I think you should let that go, but I don't think this is one of them. Get her the fuck out of here. Green Wall and Graduation. But you need the economic advantage. You know what I mean? Protests ain't gonna do shit. We got The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. You see me in this gear, man, so I'm gonna let y'all know what's happening. Make sure you sign my petition, though. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. FindTheChange.org, link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. Now, also in the video description, if you're watching this on YouTube. Now, check this out. In New York, actually, there were two police officers, Eddie Martins and Richard Hall, that actually had an 18-year-old handcuffed in the back of a police car back in 2017. Now, the allegation is that they raped this girl. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about, according to David Martins, one of the prosecuting lawyers for the girls, actually said that, you know, this is insane. You know, these dudes are 6 foot, you know what I mean? This girl's 5'3", 100 pounds or whatever, and they get away with this. But basically, the officers are saying that their encounter was consensual. There was some sex had, and it was consensual. And nevertheless, they went to trial for it, and they were found not guilty. But, well, I won't say they were found not guilty. They pled to lesser charge and will be avoiding jail time. So that is seen as outrageous, obviously. Green War and graduation. Fuck them niggas. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. You see me in my uniform, letting y'all know what's happening everywhere. Everything to do with the globe, you feel me? Or the earth. But make sure you sign my petition, though. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You can actually find TheChange.org, link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. Or in the video description under the video if you're watching on YouTube. Now, Donald Trump made a formal announcement today announcing the United States Space Command, which you already nicknamed SpaceCom, you know, obvious nickname, sure, whatever. But this is basically supposed to be a force that is going to go out of space and protect the vital importances or the vital needs of the United States of America, but out in space. So we're playing space politics now. This is getting ill. And he also said that the SpaceCom is supposed to lay the groundwork essentially for the United States 6th branch of military, which is actually supposed to be out in space. So I made that announcement like months ago. This is a crazy situation, and you know, somebody like John Rainwater of Peace Action says, and I agree with, where it's like only people allowed to play games like that are like Russia and China, like nuclear war. So this militarization of space is actually going to increase the chances of nuclear war. We're going to graduate. New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. You see me in my uniform, letting y'all know what's happening everywhere, you feel me? But make sure you sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. FindTheChange.org, link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. Or in the video description if you looking under the video, if you watching it on YouTube. Now, somebody's going to have to help break this down for me. But there were 7 Catholic priests, not Catholic priests, but Catholic activists that actually came and were, they're known as King's Plowshare. And they actually came and they're supposed to be, they secretly snuck onto the Kings Bay Naval Submarine Base, pardon me, out there in Georgia. They had crime scene tape, they had hammers, and they had freaking baby bottles with their own blood in them or whatever. They got arrested and actually are facing 25 years in jail. They tried to get out of trial, which is now scheduled for October 21st, but they couldn't get out under the grounds that of this Religious Freedom Act that they were trying to propose. So I don't know. Somebody let me know what's happening with that, man. What's the scoop, man? Because that sounds like some old weird, typical Catholic shit that they've been going on with these people and these kids. I don't know. Green War and graduation.